Hey everybody, good morning. How's it going? Um, it is bloody ridiculously cold here. It's 27 degrees here where I live, and yeah, so got a couple of titles to review. Actually, three titles, not but they're actually all horror comic books. So which I've lately been getting into. So I decided to go and pick some up, and I'm kind of late on some of the books because I've been so busy. The first one is Wreath, #1. And of course, this book is by Joe Hill, creator and writer on this book. And it is crazy, psychotic, yeah, and scary. It involves Christmas Land, this crazy old man, and a lot of kids. And it's part 1 of part 5, what I found out. And also, I guess it's a novel too, which is one of the best sellers, which I gotta find and pick up. So yeah. Next one is Hellraiser #1. I picked up the annual, which I haven't read yet, but I wanted something really scary, and I heard really great things about this, and I guess the last Hellraiser series was really good before they ended it and they switched to this. So I went ahead and picked this up, and I really enjoyed it a lot, actually. Starts off with this priestess, or the assassin, or whatever you want to call him, which I'll find out, which I'll tell you later why. He grabs this cube from this old guy, and he opens it up, and of course he wants to go to hell and explore or see and learn. So he goes to hell actually willingly. They didn't go after him. He's going on his own. So he goes and opens the box, goes to hell, and he's expecting this big welcome, which he doesn't get, which is kind of disappointed. But so he, of course, goes to hell, door opens, walks through it, and of course starts walking, and he runs into the female Cenobite right here. So, he's like, I'm here to see hell, to know everything about it, and she's like, well, you're here willingly, so we can't really, do anything to you. So she takes him on a tour of hell. Shows him the army, different ways that hell tortures people, mentally, physically, all that. And of course, there's this part right here, which I will show you guys in issue 2 also. But this is the part. This is actually Spencer and Christy. Now, Christy is, of course, from the original movie of Hellraiser. And so that part right here, this is a quick glimpse, and as she's seeing the priestess walk by, and she's seeing all this, and she's like, you know what, this has happened before, we've been through this before. Then it ends, her series ends, and of course he meets the creator of hell, which is Leviathan, this thing here. And of course he has studied hell forever in his whole life. And then this is where he meets the new Pinhead, Harry Dean Moore. And Harry Dean Moore is a former detective, on Earth. And he actually recognizes the priestess. He's like, hey, he's an assassin. He's here to kill me. Stop him. So she tries to stop him, but the chains and everything just bounce right off him. And the reason that did that is because he has this necklace on right here. So that necklace protects him. So he goes and takes out 1 or 2 of Pinhead's army. Then Pinhead, of course, goes old-fashioned, just grabs a gun, just shoots his hand, and the cross drops. So that's where now he's vulnerable, and Pinhead pretty much goes and attacks him and hangs him up, as you can see right here. And of course, Pinhead kills him. Well, actually doesn't kill him, but just totally rips him apart and turns him into one of his army people right here. and he's transforming into inside this little box, and he becomes one of his army people. And towards the end, you see Tiffany, this character, with 4 of her friends, go to this old guy and says, hey, you know what? I need that box, and I want it now. You're going to give it to me either way. If you want money, I'll give you money, but I need that box regardless. So he transforms into this little demon-type skeleton, and that's where issue number 1 ends. Issue number 2 begins, of course, with Tiffany and the team fighting that demon-like thing. And then, of course, it goes to the past, where it shows Tiffany and his team, how they met, and it was actually Harry D'Amour, the Pinhead, the new Pinhead, that put this group together. They've never met him, but they've always talked on the phone, and he's the person that put this team together to actually find every single box and, of course, keep them safe. Now, so we go to the present where they're fighting, and one of the characters dies, Ravij, I believe that's his name. He, of course, gets killed, and Tiffany is now trapped. So Tiffany, the only way she can get out of this situation is, of course, open the box, go to hell, which she does. She opens the doorway to hell, runs through it, and as the door is closing, the demon dies because the door just closes on its neck. And that's where she runs into the new Pinhead, which she recognizes to be Harry D'Amour. So this is the first time they actually meet face to face. And, Harry's like, I need your help. And I'm not going to kill you. And if you say no, I'm still going to send you back to Earth. And Tiffany doesn't really want to help him, but, he wants to keep hell and keep Earth safe and do whatever needs to be done. And Tiffany doesn't want to do it because her plans are something else. He's like, we didn't form a team to do this kind of stuff. So, again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but this is I really enjoyed issue 1, and I really enjoyed, of course, this issue number 2. So Tiffany, of course, goes back to Earth, and then this is where the Tiffany thing ends, and then Christy and Spencer storyline begins. Okay, so I really enjoyed number 2, liked it a lot. Next issue is number 3. Now, Hellraiser is number 12, I think. So I'm kind of behind. Actually, I'm a lot behind. I got number 5 and 6, 9, and I don't have 4 and 8 and 10 and 11. But anyway, I went ahead and picked this up. My friend is texting me. Okay. So I went ahead and picked this up. Issue 3. This is storyline of actually Christy begins here, and also shows some of the little clips from the very first Hellraiser movie with Frank. How she called Pinhead to kill Frank and everything, and he shows a clip of that, a storyline of that, which is right here. And this guy right here is pretty much seems like the Hell's narrator, or the memory narrator, who kind of changes everything. And because everything, like Christie's thing is, we've done this before, and this has been it's kind of happening over and over and over. So just real fast before I have to go to work. So Christy and Spencer are trying to get out of this. Christy's trying to get out of it, and she needs Spencer's help to do that, so she can go back to hell and find out what's going on, because Leviathan is playing Spencer and Pinhead for a fool. So but they don't know it. Pinhead is like Leviathan's bitch, I guess, whatever you want to call it. So the story's been played over and over. Christy's trying to figure that out. Spencer and Christy team up to get out of hell. They actually fight each other, but Spencer is too strong, so they join forces, and Spencer's like, okay, I'll do it this time, but once we get to hell, all bets are off. So they join forces to get out of it, but then something goes wrong, and towards the end you see Pinhead right here. Seems like stopping them from coming out. Okay, so that's issue number 3. Awesome, enjoying it a lot. Next one is Afterlife of Archie, with Archie. This was a great comic book. Great title, great storyline so far. I really, really enjoyed this. It's very different from Archie comic itself, of course. You know, something that's funny and kiddish and just, you know, lovey-dovey, just all that stuff. Then you jump from, and I read the regular Archie also. Then you jump from that to something like this, something dark, something serious, something that's just very different from the regular Archie. You know, it's very adult. You know, kind of. You know, again, art is beautiful. I love the art. I love the story. I just love everything about it. You know. So it starts off with Jughead getting to Sabrina's house with his dog, of course, dying. And, you know, of course, he needs Sabrina's help to bring the dog, to heal the dog. And the aunt, of course, tries to help him, but the dog was already dead when he got to the house. So the aunt's like, we can't do nothing about it. And there is a magic that we can do, but it's very, very dangerous. So bury the dog, say goodbyes, and just move on. So Sabrina, of course, you know, feels bad that Jughead is going through this, you know. So Sabrina's like, you know, I'll help you. Meet me by the doghouse, and I'll help you. So she goes. She does that horrible spell that the aunt said not to. And of course, Sabrina tells the cat to cover for her, but of course she gets caught. So as she gets caught, the magic is done now. She comes back. She gets caught, and the aunt, of course. The ants are right here, very creepy. They of course ban her. They take her powers away for a year, and of course they silent her, so that she can't talk. So, and the school is having a Halloween party. So Archie, Betty, and everybody's just gonna dress up. They're all planning what to do and everything. And you see, Jughead's dog is alive now, comes to life. So one of the characters named Reggie, he's like the school jock, you know, is like down on himself, you know, like he did something humongously bad. So Archie's trying to figure that out. And Jughead is, of course, looking for the dog outside. He gets bit by the dog. And that's where everything begins, of course. You know, Archie comes and visits him, tells him, hey, where have you been? Are you okay? You know, your dog, what's wrong with the dog? He's underneath the house. You know, Jughead's like, you know, don't mess with the dog. Don't touch him. Don't do nothing. Leave him alone. So Archie leaves. So now, as of now, the dance party started, and Jughead is now a zombie. So he's walking around. His two victims, the first two victims are this two old couple, which is the principal and this lady. Reggie is actually trying to tell Archie, hey, you know what? I did something wrong, and Reggie's the one actually who hid the dog. You know, Jughead's dog. So now Jughead arrives at the Halloween party, and he's already dead. And everybody right now doesn't know what's going on, and they all think that Jughead is actually wearing a costume, and it's an awesome costume. Love this title. Awesome. Next one is Archie number 2. So Ethel, she goes and hugs Jughead, and of course Jughead bites her and kills her. You got these two girls here who are actually headed to the party to actually bomb the party, like to, you know, crash it. So everybody's now freaking out. There's people that are starting to now kill people, like at the restaurants and everything, people that Jughead infected. So now, then you go to narrating, where Veronica's telling her father what's going on, or what Archie did, and what happened in the school. So Ethel goes to attack Betty, Veronica goes and kills Ethel. Archie's trying to get everybody together so they can get out of there, and they do get out of the school. Well, people are just, as Archie and them are leaving, Reggie, Veronica, Betty, and everybody else, they hear screams and screams, and Archie wants to go back and help them, but the only reason he didn't leave is because Veronica and Betty and, of course, the people. So Veronica's, I know this place where we can go and we'll be safe. And Veronica, of course, telling his dad that, Dad, don't be mad, and we need your help, and don't be mad, and I need to show you something. As she shows him, it's actually Archie and the whole group at Veronica's house, and that's the safest place for them right now. And these are the people so far that are alive, and of course, it's like it says, one of them is infected. Could be Betty, could be Veronica. They were the closest to Ethel, or could be somebody else. We don't know. But great title, storyline. You gotta grab and read it. You won't be sorry. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend.